The following video discusses a negotiation between me, Queen City BBQ, the seller, and Karen, Flying Eagle Campgrounds, the buyer. The next few slides will address the strengths and weaknesses I portrayed throughout the negotiation. Strength number 1. Prior to the actual negotiation, I was able to sit down with Flying Eagle Campgrounds and ask questions to try and figure out her target point and resistance point. Doing so allowed me to figure out what kind of negotiation style we would use, which was distributive, and what tactic I could use to best benefit me as a seller, which I decided was settling near the opposing party's resistance point. The following is a clip from the actual negotiation. And I believe the last time we talked about doing $4.50 per unit, but I want to hear what you're thinking as well. My first weakness was during the actual negotiation, I gave the initial offer of 2,500 units at $450 each, available by April. This was right away a weakness because I should have started by offering the terms 3,000 units at $500 each, available by March. This would have been the best target point, and it would have made Karen or FEC think that my resistance point was higher. By doing this, it may have seemed like I was using a narrow pattern of concessions, or in other words, Karen may have thought that I was unsure of my resistance point, or that I was being a flexible negotiator. Here is a clip that represents what I just discussed. Here's what we can do for you. How many units are you wanting? 2,000 units. Okay, so we're asking for 500 per unit, but how about this? I'd be willing to do 2,500 units at $450 each. We can get them to by April since we're so overstocked in May. And then we can talk. I mean, how does that sound so far? The second strength later in the negotiation was that I noticed FEC was making bigger jumps in the number of units they were asking for. Karen began to say she wanted 2,000 units, and then she said that she wanted 1,000 units, which signaled to me that she was using a wide pattern of concessions. Her lack of commitment to her terms suggests that we had reached her target point already, or we were quickly nearing her resistance point. At this point, I was able to take the negotiation back into my court by using gain framing. I stayed committed to the terms of 2,500 units at $450 each, but I let her think she was gaining something in regards to other terms like exclusivity and payment. Here's a clip to show what I'm talking about. start some stuff up and get them to you by May. We'd still have to sell them to you for about $4.50, but we could offer you some exclusivity, which means you would be exclusive to our barbecue girls, which means no other company, only a select few would have them. So that would offer you exclusivity, and I'd be willing to do 6-month payment terms. Um, my final weakness that I showed was that I immediately was willing to hear her first offer, which suggested my flexibility as a buyer. I should have stayed firm with my target point, but instead I allowed her a later delivery date and later payment terms. By appearing flexible in my concessions, I began to stray farther and farther away from my target point than I would have liked to. The following clip shows how my concessions got the best of me. Let's see. What exactly are you guys needing? No limit. Okay. Um, how about we do um, the parts up to $50 per unit? We guarantee that you have everything you need by May. And I don't think you would need the labor, because if you pay for, the parts and the stuff you need, I think you'll have everything that you need right there. Okay. And then what about the exclusivity? Um, I know that I said we'd make our product exclusive to you, um, but yeah, that was if you were willing to do that, and that way, um, I mean, we would still obviously put our name out, but it would be exclusive to you guys in the Eastern US. Okay, so awesome. So we've decided on the 2,500 units at $450 delivered to you guys by May. Parts up to $50 per unit,